Hey guys, Original Porris here, and back yet again for another movie review. I got two movies today, and they're both action movies. The first movie I'm going to review is an older movie. I bought this 3-pack in when I went to Idaho. It was in Coeur d'Alene, and it's got Death Wish 2, 3, and 4. And I went ahead and watched Death Wish 2. This is something that I hadn't seen in over 20 years, but pretty good. I liked it then, I liked it now. So it was from 1982, and it stars Charles Bronson. And the movie is about Charles Bronson's character. He plays Paul Kersey, and his daughter. I'm guessing is from part 1. I don't really remember watching part 1. But his daughter's in a hospital because she's having a hard time. Something happened where his wife was killed, and his daughter has been traumatized by it, so she's not talking. And him and his girlfriend go and pick up his daughter at the hospital, and they decide they're going to take her to the park. When he's in the park, he gets mugged, and these guys take his wallet, and in his wallet, it's got his ID, of course. His ID has his address, so these muggers end up going to his house in the hopes of robbing him. They end up going there, and they break into the house, and they end up, the maid happens to be there. They end up raping her and killing her, and in the process of all of this, he comes home with his girlfriend and his daughter. The thugs, they end up kidnapping his daughter. They knock him out, and they take off. Actually, it's just him and his daughter that show up. The girlfriend doesn't show up yet. She doesn't show up until after the fact, and she finds him unconscious. The thugs end up taking the daughter to a warehouse where they rape her, and eventually she tries to escape. She jumps out a window, and she ends up getting killed. He's pretty upset about it, of course, and he sets out to get revenge on these thugs. And he starts killing them off one by one. He starts stalking them. He goes out at night and becomes like, in the day he has got a normal job. At night, he has rented a motel in a really bad neighborhood, and he goes out at night, dresses up like, pretty much right there. Dresses up all in black, puts on a black beanie, and walks around the city looking for these guys, and ends up killing them one by one. It's pretty good movie for being made back in 1982. It doesn't look like it had a high budget, but I thought it was pretty good for what it was. So I recommend it. I haven't seen part 1. If I have, I don't really remember it. I still need to watch part 3, and I need to watch part 4. So there's 3 of them here. I'm not really sure how many Death Wish movies there are, but part 2 was pretty good, so I'll have to watch part 1, because obviously something happened to his wife in part 1, and that's what caused his daughter not to talk in part 2. So Death Wish 2. The second one that I watched is one that I got in the $5 bin, and it actually ended up being pretty good. The movie is called Arena, right there, and it stars Samuel L. Jackson, and it also has the guy from Lost. He played Jin in Lost, and his name is Daniel Dae Kim. And this was also pretty good. It's kind of like one of those movies, like The Hunger Games, pretty much. Except if it's not kids, it's adults. The Samuel L. Jackson, his character is running an internet reality show, and people don't know if it's real or fake, but the FBI is trying to crack down on it because they think it's real and these murders are really happening. What they do is they kidnap just people, firemen, old fighters, or people who are pretty good at the martial arts, and they take them to Mexico, or it's supposed to be in Mexico at first, and they make a fight in this like basement, and then like the computers make it look like they're in the forest or they're somewhere else. That way the FBI can't trace them. And they're forced to fight to the death. And eventually they end up kidnapping one guy who his wife had been killed, so he goes and he goes to Mexico to get away from what, you know, his pregnant wife being killed, and he's at a bar and somebody tries to pick a fight with him and he ends up beating the guy up. So there's like these recruiters that are there from this reality show. They see him, so they kidnap him and they make him fight, and you have to fight for your life, fight to the death. Eventually he makes a deal where if he wins 10 fights, he's able to escape, but he knows that he's not going to escape. So it was pretty action-packed, pretty violent. I had never heard of it, but like I said, it's another one of those, you're forced to fight to the death so people can be entertained watching it on TV, like The Running Man, the one with Stone Cold, man, what's the name of it? Condemned. And of course you had The Hunger Games, which is kind of like that. You had to fight to the death. But I had never heard about it. I'm glad in the $5 bin arena. So if you're looking for another one of those movies about having to fight for your life, so it can be broadcast on TV or on the internet, this is pretty good. Like I said, a lot of action, a lot of gore. It was pretty. It seemed like they put too much. I don't know how long this movie was. Let me see. It was 94 minutes, and it seemed like they smothered everything into those 94 minutes. So it could have been maybe a little, if they extended the time, it could have made it a little more, explained it a little more, and more action-packed. But it seems like the fights, they just rushed through them real quick. Like, they wouldn't start the fights from beginning to end. They started like in the middle of the fight, and then 30 seconds into it, it'd be over. 10 seconds into it, it'd be over. Everything just seemed so rushed and like smashed into these 94 minutes. But it was still pretty good. Still pretty good. So if you're looking for that type of movie, Arena is your movie. So I watched Death Wish 2 and Arena. Death Wish 2, Charles Bronson classic. Recommend it. Arena, $5 bin. Movie that just looked pretty good, and I thought it was pretty decent. So straight to DVD, but it was still pretty decent. So that's all I got for today. To watch those two movies. Like I said, I recommend you watch them. Hopefully you like them. If you don't, then do a movie review as to why you don't like it. I'll watch it either way. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye.